YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Steve, and today we are working in the garage on our Honda Fury right here. And what we are going to be working on is this. Yes. Yes, sir. That is right. A new kickstand. We are kicking off this episode with a new kickstand. Let's jump into it, all right? Let's go. All right, so what you're gonna need for this install is, number one, a beer. Today I'm drinking Schaefer. Got a 30 rack right here. You're gonna need your beer, you're gonna need your kickstand. You're going to need either a spring hook or a flathead screwdriver or a long screwdriver to remove the spring. I'll show you how in a second. For the kickstand, you're going to need either sockets or wrenches of an 8 and a 14 socket and that's all you're gonna need. It's a pretty straightforward video. And of course you're gonna need your Fury and a jack. You'll have to be able to jack up the bike some way, somehow, to get the weight off the kickstand. You could use a jack. If you don't have a jack, I have an I-beam too. If you have a small come along or something, you can ratchet strap above your frame here and ratchet up your bike. Up you go if you have an I-beam or something to hang up if you don't have a bike jack, which is an easy workaround. It's a little flimsy that way. It's kind of sketchy, but it works, all right? This is not a necessary step, but it may help you just kind of clearing things out of the way. But grab yourself a 5mm Allen socket, Allen head. You just want to go ahead and pop off this side cover. Again, it just makes it easier. You don't have to do it. You're working right here, but if you do, it only kind of helps you out in the long run, alrighty? So go ahead and take this out. All right, once you take your 5mm out, you're just gonna pop off your side panel like that, giving you a little bit of access to work on your bike a little bit more. It just makes it that much easier. If you got that off like that, have yourself some beer. Perfect. All right, next step is what we want to do is we want to take off the spring. Now, this spring is heavy duty. I have a Motion Pro heavy duty spring hook for your exhaust, but it will help just the same getting on the bike and pulling that thing out. If you don't have a hook where you can grab on here or here to pull off, what you can do, and what I've done in the past, is I've taken a Phillips screwdriver, what have you, something that's pretty strong in itself, and you can go in here two-hand like and pull off the spring. But I'll put a link in the description below. Kickstand down, grab your hook. I'm gonna brace my feet against the frame of the thing. Hopefully I don't slide the bike off the jack. You can strap it down on your bike jack if you got it. Put the kickstand down, relieve some of the tension on that. You can do it up too, but it kind of brings it out. So bring it down some. I'm gonna hook it this way, okay? I'm gonna pull down with my might and unhook this spring. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Pull, 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 whew, and let go. Have yourself a drink. You've earned it. All right, not too bad. Okay, now that the spring is off, it should look like this. You have the switch here, kickstand safety switch, and you have a bolt going through. This here is an 8mm bolt. I used a wrench just to get on there. you're upside down, but remember, righty tighty, lefty loose. Okay, and I did that, and this is gonna unscrew like so. You're gonna pull this out. Okay, that's what that looks like right there. Now, what this is your kickstart safety switch. Okay, there's a hole in the kickstand that if you're in gear and you have the kickstand down or rather if you have the clutch in and the kickstand's down and you put it in gear, the motor will shut off as a safety switch because Honda doesn't want you taking off with the bike in gear with the kickstand down. Not good for business. So that's what this little switch is. And this little detent here goes actually inside a hole on the kickstand. So when it's up, this turns, tells the computer the kickstand is up. And when you put the kickstand down, it turns back and goes from there. I'm putting the kickstand on with it down. So when I put the new one on, I'll make sure that it's down, and I'll put the detent in the hole properly and get through that. But you want to take that 8mm nut out, set that aside, pull it away from here, okay? Now you got yourself a through bolt and a nut on the end. Okay, so what you're gonna need next now is a 14mm wrench or socket. I'd advise you doing the sockets because you get a better grip, but it's 14 on the bottom, 14 on the top. Let's go ahead and take this off here. It's kind of hard if you're a little bulky, but you should have a little play in your swing arm. So just kind of, or your swing arm, your kickstand. So pull it out some, make sure your sockets are set to off, and you're gonna simultaneously, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, you bastard, come on. This is a shallow 14mm nut on the bottom. You'll come off with some force. Once you get it clear, you're clear. Okay. Nut off. You have to thread this bad boy out. Use your socket whenever possible. If you don't have a socket, you could use a box wrench. Just be careful, make sure you're straight on, otherwise you'll strip and thread out your bolt. Thread it all the way. Pull through. There you go. Your kickstand is off. Take a little sip. Once you're in the bike and you got the kickstand off, this is a great opportunity for you to grab a rag and just kind of sweep up and wipe up the dirty areas. It's a very hard place to get to. You're not going to take your kickstand off just because you're washing it. However, there's no harm in just taking an extra step and wiping clear debris. Out with the old and with the new kickstand. It's the same process, just in reverse. Now, you'll see here on the kickstand itself, here's your detent for the safety switch, the kickstand safety switch. So I took the kickstand off when it was down. So now I want to put the install when in the down position as well, so I can keep track of where this goes. This isn't very hard. It won't move. It only goes on one way. But you definitely want to make sure you got the right position. Don't touch this wheel after you have it off. If you did, too late. I'm gonna go ahead and take the stock bolt, send it back through. Don't worry about it being loose. Once you send the bolt through, it'll tighten right up. You don't want to make it too tight, because then when you swing your kickstand is gonna feel tight to take down too. So, you know, give it a couple 2-3 turns. You don't want the nut to actually fall off, but you'll see if it's loose on the top half. That's why the nut is on the top part of the frame. If you're riding along, you could take a look before you go for a ride. Just double check. Just make sure it's in the right spot. Just make sure it's a little tight. A little tighter. Give it a 2 ugga duggas. You're good. You're fine. take a minute, have a sip. Some confidence juice. Once you're on, find that hole, move your kickstand around so you find that hole. Get your 8 mil, send it on through. I have some red Loctite on there. Make sure it don't fall off. If you have new, put new. If not, don't worry about it. But 8 mil, finger tighten. As tight as you can go. And then grab yourself a socket or an open box. Give it snug. Whoa! That's one way to round your bolt. Don't do that. Snug is good. Your kickstand is still loose. Fine. Throw in your top 14 mil nut. Now there's 2 ways of doing that. I could have not put this on yet and put the 14 on the bottom and then the 14 on the top and then wrench it. Or you could just put it back together and then do the top bolt. There is a chance that this bolt may spin. That would be the proper way. Either way you do it, just make sure you're snug on the top and bottom. The last thing I gotta do is this bottom screw. Put the screw on, put the cover on, and you got yourself a brand new kickstand. Very easy. Bing, bop, boop. Grab yourself your spring tool or your screwdriver or whatever you got. Make note, this piece right here, okay, this is where the screw wants to sit. You want to have it like this. The top arm will be on the top part of the spring and the bottom will be on the bottom. Spring puller. I'm gonna lock my feet into the bike to make it easier to pull. And I'll lean over to the side, make sure I got clearance before I swoop it around. Pull. Just on the edge, give it a little tappy tap. Perfect. Kickstand down. Up. Down. If you want to test your kickstand safety switch, you can do it before you put the kickstand on, or you can do it after you put the kickstand on. The test is very simple. Don't lose your motorcycle. Key. Fuel pump. Ignition. Put it in gear, it's shut off. You know that your Kickstart safety switch is in the right position. Go ahead, pull your clutch in, put your foot up, verify your neutral, turn off your bike, grab yourself a beer, and you're done. All right, let me get this last cover on. We'll make that a wrap. Well, doesn't that make a difference? That shit looks beefy. Beefy. So why did I change my kickstand? Well, the Fury is a great platform with a lot of different mods, a lot of different companies out there. And what makes the Fury so unique is that you can make it so unique. Now, for a while I had the last SLK Scoop, which was great, set me apart from a lot of people. Now the Scoop is gonna be reproduced some more people have access to it, and I'm like, well, great. You know, I can't stop everybody from getting scoops, but if they get scoops, they're putting it on their bike, it makes their bikes look great. Well, I gotta push it to the next level. And the reason why I went with that kickstand is it's damn near discontinued. I did get it from JC Palmer and Mean Cycles. Put a link in the description below if he's got any left. However, it's just one extra thing that can now set my bike further apart from a lot of people out there who are making their bikes custom, which is great for the community, but I still wanna be a little bit more different. And the reason why I went with that is because of the arc. Because it's rounded and my air ride's all the way up, I now have the flexibility to still be pretty even on the ground, but I got the arch. So no matter where I go and what kind of bike shows or what kind of events I go to, I can kind of find the right spot. That looks great. That looks phenomenal. It adds to the angles and the spike theme that I've been going with the bike. I think that looks fantastic. What a great buy. If you're looking for any kind of custom parts, look in the link description below. I will list them down there, but also head over to Mean Cycles. Type in Fury in the website search bar and you'll see all kinds of different parts and modifications you can do with your bike. You got options. You got options. This is what I'm here for, kind of spreading the word of the things that you can do. You got plenty of options out there to customize your bike to set you apart from everybody else, all right? But that's it. That's today's episode. That looks fantastic. Side cover off. Jack the bike up. 14 mil top and bottom. 8 mil for the sensor on the back. Swap, spring brake, pull it back in. Bing bang, boop bop, redo the process, and you got yourself some badass kickstand. You go with this. If you can find one, go with another style if you can find one as well. But either way, that's today's episode. Y'all have a good one. Enjoy the weekend. Peace! Oh, hey, you found the secret track. There is one more step you can do. Now that you've did any kind of modification, grab yourself a beer, crack her open, throw on some Creed, and look at all your hard work, all right? Yeah, garage beers. Beers.